we have a specialist in aero modeling, Shri Madhav Khare ji. So he's our local expert. So we are very happy that he's right here besides us. He's a specialist, of course, in computers, but his fondness, his passion is modeling, aero modeling, I mean to say, and making people aware of this flight of science. Okay, so he's got of course a lot of contribution in a lot of science teaching as well over the years, and he's been working for several decades in this field. He's been also writing several books. I think he's got several articles in newspapers, and 12 books have been published by him. And he's also he tries to inspire you to make your own science projects through various kinds of writings which come in public popular literature. He has been awarded the national award by the NCERT for the book Make and Fly, okay, as an excellent activity book for children. Other than that, he has also received several other awards from government of Maharashtra for the special books and special activities that he has developed. So he is also has been asked to produce an exhibition on aeroplanes and aerodynamics by the Department of Science and Technology, and this exhibition is called Science of Flight. So again, another advertisement that for the National Science Day, we will have him again present in the campus, and he'll be actually flying some planes in the campus on that day. So make sure you don't miss that. But without further delay, let's pass on the baton to Shri Khare ji, and we request him to please show us this exciting show, that exciting demos, etc., that you have lined up here. We are very looking forward to it. Thank you, sir.
So good morning, friends. Well, you might see that I always make use of the collar mic. As a flyer, I always like to be free and don't want to get tied up with the podium. So the flight, that is a very near and dear subject to all of your hearts, isn't it? Actually, one of the psychiatrists told me that if as a child, if somebody is not interested in the aircraft, then he should go under checkup. Something is wrong. Every child has to like the aircraft because that is in our genes. Have you ever noticed that like other animals, we can do many activities? Isn't it? Can we run? Yes, we can. May not be as fast as a cheetah or a deer, but still we can run quite fast. Can we swim? Yes, with our own muscle power, we can swim. May not be as good as a fish or a crocodile, but we can swim. Can we climb up the trees? Yes, we can. Not as good as a monkey or a squirrel, but still we can climb. Can we fly? Not even as an insect. As much as an insect you can't fly because your body is not meant for flying. And that is why right from ages there has been a passion for flying because that was unattainable in those days. And that is why if you see all the gods and goddesses and demons, dragons, nymphs, you will see that they are shown with the wings. Why? To tell you that it is a superhuman activity, beyond the capacity of a human being. That is why all the deities, all the dragons, all the demons, they are shown with the wings, to emphasize that it is not within the control of a human being. And when it is not within the control of a human being, we know our tendency. We always want something which is not really meant for us. So we are always running after that, and that is why right from ages, the people have been running, how can I fly, how can I fly? There was a great envy towards the flying objects. But actually, we took quite a lot of time to understand that the nature had given us everything. Nature was demonstrating in front of us, but The human was not having a vision to locate that. In your topics, you read something about what is called as a seed disperser, isn't it? There are the seeds which can fly. Flying seeds. Have you ever seen these flying seeds? Many of them are there. In Marathi, we call it as a vawla. That is a round disc-like thing with some small seed in, and we used to eat it also. In the school days, we had the tree of vawla, and we used to eat that seeds, but they were flying. You must have seen in Marathi, we call it as matarya. They have been flying all the way, Pev, then Dotra, all these are giving out a lot of these. They are all the flying seeds, but I want to show you some more flying seeds also. Some tiny flying seeds. You are going to, if you are going for trekking, you should keep an eye for such type of the things. This is actually as good as a helicopter. A seed is here in the center and only one wing is there. And with this one wing, it can fly quite well. There are the different, this is, the camera icon? Yes, I will show it closely. Switch on there. वरती उजव्या कोपऱ्यात. Okay. Can you see? Yes. Yes, you can see now. This is the type of the seed which has got three wings. The two are small, one is large, like a helicopter. These are the types of the seeds again. You will see here. It has got a complete single wing, and all these fly over a long distance. And to your surprise, these seeds are not as small as you think. In the end, this is the size of the seed. And this is a wing. Now that wing is broken because I have been keeping it, it's full of thorns. So this type of the flying seeds are there which fly over miles and miles away. Now this particular design I tried to copy. Make it in paper, put some weight in the center and try to fly it like these seeds fly. It was a terrible job. I took several attempts to get a wee bit of the flying of that, but the nature produces it perfectly every time, and every seed flies over a long distance. So the nature was showing us that the flying is possible. This is some way of flying. This can be done. Nobody noticed it. Was that only the thing? How many flying things you find around you naturally? Birds everybody knows, because we have been watching the birds. The birds' flights are wonderful, that also we know. But are the birds only flying objects around us? Nothing else is there. See, many flying things are there around us, naturally occurring. Which are they? Variety of the insects are there. The different type of beetles are there. And one insect, I believe everybody should know, because you have got the rackets to kill them. Which is that flying insect? Mosquitoes. So we know several flying things around us. And all these things have been telling the man that the flight is possible. The things which are heavier than air also can fly. Basically, why we call the fly and not float? These are the two different words, flying and floating. Many a times we use them one for other, but actually it is not the thing. When the aircraft is going through the air, is it flying or is it floating? It is flying. But when the gas balloon is released in the air, you say it is floating. What's the basic difference in flying and floating? Yes, it depends on the density. If the balloon is already lighter than air, the density of the air, whatever it is, The balloon is lighter than that. As a result of that, it naturally goes up no matter what shape it is. If you could produce the balloon of square size, that also will go up. If you produce the balloon of a cucumber-like size, that also will go up. So no matter what shape it is lighter than air. Just like wood. Is the wood heavier than water or lighter than water? The wood is lighter, so no matter what size of the wood it is, it will float on the water, isn't it? So the shape doesn't matter. But when you have to fly through the air, is the fish floating or swimming through the water? It is swimming through the water, it is like flying. So we can also say that the fish is flying through the water, just like the aircraft flies through, because it is heavier than, the fish is heavier than water. If the fish dies, it will not always come up. First it will go down, then it decays, and because of the gas formed, it will come up. So remember that the fish is heavier than water, but still it can. Similarly, are the mosquito heavier than air or lighter than air? Heavier, because when you kill it, it falls down. If the bird is shot, will it go floating up or will fall down? It will fall down. That means they are heavier than air, but still they are able to travel through the air. That is called as a flying. So that is why the flying thing is always heavier than air, and irrespective of that, it generates some lifting power by which it can keep on flying. So that is a basic principle that should be understood. That if you want to fly, then you have to generate some force in some manner which will lift your weight up in the air. Now this was an attempt. Once upon a time, the people were believing that everything written in the old scriptures is right, and there is a story in Bible about the Icarus and Daedalus. They were the father and son captured on the island of Crete, and they decided to escape from there. So what did they do is, they collected all the feathers of the seabirds which were landing there on the beaches. They attached these feathers onto their hands to form the wings. You can imagine that our structure is similar to the bird. If I consider these two as the wings, then I will look similar to a bird. So that is what they did. And one fine morning, they decided to escape, and they took off from the beaches of Crete, which is an island near Italy. The father warned the son that please don't go much higher up, or you will go close to the sun, and the heat of the sun will melt the wax with which all these feathers have been attached. But the sons are sons, of course. So he didn't listen to his father. In the zeal, in the enthusiasm of flying, he went up and up and up, and finally the wings melted and he fell down in the sea. But the father successfully reached the mainland of Italy. This is not true. This is a story in the Bible. But the people believed that this must be true, and they decided to make an attempt to that. So what did they do? They collected the feathers, attached over their hands, and tried to flap it like this. Do you expect they flew? Not possible. Then they thought that, okay, perhaps I am not able to take off from the ground, but I will be able to glide if I jump from the top of some tower. And you know that the tilting tower of Pisa, that was very ideal for such type of flights. And they decided to fly from there. They were termed as the tower flyers. And they literally did it. Would anybody of you dare this? But they dared. And the first and the last flight was same. They just jumped, no success, straight away fell like a stone, and most of them died. That made the people understand that everything written down need not be true. There has to be some science behind it. Now, many things happened after that, and I would like to show you the crazy attempts that people were doing. Remember, there was nothing like aerodynamics. Nobody knew even the term. Nobody knew anything about the flying. Whatever came into the mind, they were making an attempt to that, but I will tell you that that is the only way you get the success. Just by reading from the books and remembering the things, you are not likely to get the success. Otherwise, just by reading 10 recipe books, anybody can become a good cook. Is it possible? Not possible. By reading 100 books on the swimming, if I tell you that go and jump in the pool, will you be able to swim? No, that is a feel that you have to develop. And that is the knowledge. By the way, I will take a minute to tell you, as you are students, that you have been learning in the schools, you are remembering all the things and you are writing them in your examination paper, and as a return, what do you get? You get the marks. 90 marks, 95% marks, 98% marks. I heard in that, what that called, CET, some student got 101% marks. I am still puzzled at how can somebody get 101 marks out of 100. But that was there, the news was there in the newspaper, because of the sports edition, this edition, he got 101% of the marks. Now this is crazy. By the marks, if we want to judge the students, then it is only useful for getting the further admissions and something like that. But this is not the knowledge. What you are collecting is the information. If you can use that information to do something, then it will be called as the knowledge. So remember that as a school children, whatever you are doing, you have to do. You can't escape that. You can't escape the exams. So you have to go through that. But please don't be under impression that because you have got the 98% marks, you know everything. You only have collected the information. From here, if you want to go to Solapur, I will give a list of the options. If you remember that, and I take your, ask you to write the answer sheet, perhaps all of you will get 100% marks. But does that mean that you have reached Solapur? When you will go to the bus stand, you will sit in the bus, will travel, and then you will reach Solapur. So what you are doing in the schools is that collecting the information, perhaps memorizing it and reproducing it. Nothing more than that. Knowledge comes only when you can do it with your own hands, with your own capacity. So why I told you is that it's a good occasion to tell you that the people who had no knowledge, no books, nothing, succeeded in flying because they were making an attempt. They were failing hundreds of times, but again they were attempting, and as a result of that they succeeded. Remember, the flying occurred first, the science came afterwards. What is called as the aerodynamics today was not known to all the eminent flyers. Even the Wright brothers didn't know anything about it, but they could do the flying. Okay, let us see.
Ever since man started to think, he's wanted to fly. But flying was strictly for the birds. And continued to be so for thousands of years. Man, eternally optimistic, kept trying. Encouraged by his many successes, man kept trying. Through his genius and his inventiveness, he managed to get his machines off the ground. And sometimes he brought them down again. All over the world, early pioneers were making flying history. And in Italy, Count Emilio Ponticelli made what many people claimed was the first long-distance flight. There was no doubt about it. By 1910, flying had become the rage. Man had conquered the air, and people everywhere were all agog about those magnificent men and their flying machines.
Lights, please. So you saw how crazy the people were for flying and did so many attempts. These are very old films. They have been restored. And this movie is available on the YouTube. You must watch it. The name of the movie is Those Magnificent Men in Their Flying Machines. So that is available on YouTube, and it's an excellent movie. You will come to know many things about the flying, and perhaps you also will start feeling that yes, the flying is not so difficult. It's quite simple. If in such simple manners the people were flying once upon a time, that it shouldn't be difficult today. And that is why the complete activity of flying was pioneered by the people who didn't know anything about the flying, but just wanted to fly. That was the only thing. That burning desire in their minds that I should be able to fly created all this. Of this, there are many people who contributed to this, but one I will tell you, when all such crazy attempts were going on, only one person was thinking in a scientific manner. Name of the person is Sir George Cayley. Sir George Cayley. Sir George Cayley said that if the birds can fly in spite of being heavier than air, if the insects can fly in spite of being heavier than air, then we also should be able to make the flying object by making use of the things around it. And for the first time he defined the wing. He said that for flying we are going to need the wing. And what is a wing? It is a surface that is set at the positive angle with the airflow. Listen to the words that he has perfectly coined. It is a surface set at the positive angle with the airflow, will be lifted up in the air when pushed through the air. That last four words are quite important. When pushed through the air. The meaning is that just by making something is not sufficient. You have to be able to push it through the air, then only the air will be lifted. And that perhaps you know by the law of Newton, action is equal to reaction. You make some action, it will give you the reaction. And he created an aircraft by making use of a simple ordinary kite. And I don't think that this is very difficult for you to make. It is a surface. Is this a surface? It is. Set at the positive angle. So if this is a flying, can you see that it has got a positive angle? That means the front tip is lifted, the left is lower. So that is a positive angle that it has formed. Now the construction is like this, that when this is an ordinary bicycle spoke which I have bent to give it an angle, you could make use of the stick also. By any way you should be able to give it a positive angle. That's the main thing. This is a bamboo stick because it is strong and it doesn't break easily. Then on the back side there are the two surfaces, triangular surfaces. One is horizontal, another is vertical. At that time he didn't even know the names of these. Nowadays we call this as a stabilizer. The horizontal is a stabilizer and vertical is a fin. But these are the modern terms. In those days he didn't know. When you add the weight at the tail side, naturally the nose side becomes lighter. So you have to put the nose weight. Because unless there is a weight in the front, who is going to pull that? So that is why you need some weight. And what weight is this? I have just cut the whole bicycle tube and that rubber has been wound to make it a bit soft, and this is the aircraft that was made. Will it fly? Let us see here. You can see it does. It does. By adjusting these angles, the tip goes up, the aircraft will go up. It was going a bit extra up, so I will just adjust the tips of this, and I can launch it into you also. When it comes, suppose it comes onto your face, just put your hand and stop it, that's all. Don't allow it to hit you. And pretty strong aircraft. How much is the cost? Is it expensive? The cost of the kite, whether the bamboo stick if you have to buy, then the cost of that, some card sheet which is already lying around. In the packing also we get such type of paper, so you can make use of that. At least the bicycle tube should be available somewhere. Cut that and you can make this model yourself completely. You can see, and if I apply more force, then it will go even further longer. And pretty strong model. I learned this in my school. And I was in school in 1968, in 7th or 8th standard at that time. So, at that time my school had a person called Mr. Pandit who did the aero modeling. No other school in Pune or even in Maharashtra or perhaps in India had this subject. My school had that subject. We learnt at that time making of this model, and it was costing not even 50 paisa at that time, the kite and everything taken together. So when we used to go for the trips, Mahabaleshwar trip on Arthur Seat, have you been there? It's a very tall and very deep location. We used to carry such type of the gliders and just release it from Arthur Seat. Of course, we are not going to get it back. They will travel towards Konkan, but half an hour you can keep on watching them going away and away from you, becoming so small, and perhaps they might have been going somewhere and landing somewhere. The children there will be benefited with a free model aircraft. But in 50 paise, we were getting that much of pleasure. So this is something that you should make. When you make this, you will come to know how much skills you have got in your hand. You may feel it very simple, but how you will fix this, how this will be perfectly fixed, what you should use for this, how you should use for this, the tools, the cutter, all these things you should be able to use properly, and then the model is there. And then I will show you several flying objects. Our purpose is not to go into the history of aircraft, but the aero modeling. Can you understand what this is? Just falling around. PET bottle. Only thing is that the proportion is important. As much as the diameter, the same is the length. Okay, the piece is as much as the diameter, the same is the length, and then I have coated it with some paper tape to make the front edge heavy. Now you can launch it with good force. The one who has got a good strength in the shoulders can launch it better. Somebody like a baseball player. Throwing a ball with full force, or a cricketer who can throw the ball right from boundary line into the hands of wicketkeeper. If that much of the swing you have, then you can launch this wonderfully. You have to hold it like this and then spin it slightly. When you launch, you have to just give it a little spin and it will go like this. Okay? Now, with the different type of the actions, the amount of weight that you have to add in the front, it will give you the different characteristics. Yes, can you see this? This is just a piece of bottle, but the proportion is important. Diameter and the length should be equal, and you have to really throw it very hard. I am not able to throw it. I was just having shoulder ache. Yes. See, now if you can throw it with more power, then Okay, can you throw it from here? चलो, throw it to the stage. देखते हैं कौन फेंक सकता है. चलो बच्चे कंपनी, खड़े रहो. कौन फेंकता है? Launch to me. Launch to me. One. Good. काढ नंतर काढ दे. It's okay. We'll remove it later. So are we really short of money or material? No, we are short of ideas. So if you get the ideas, then you will be able to make hundreds of these. And we actually conduct the competitions in this. What will happen if the bottle is large? You decide. What will happen if the bottle is small? You make a decision of yourself. Now I might have told you that as much is the diameter, that much is the length. But what will happen if I take the extra length? What will happen if I take the shorter length? Do the experimentation with that. And is it going to cost any money? Not at all. These bottles are just lying around here and there. You can make the flying things, you can make your own competitions. You don't need anything else. Everything is lying around us. You just have to make use of that, and that is how you can conduct the competitions. And actually I had conducted in the school these type of competitions. No expenditure at all. You have to collect your bottles, you have to make your bottle model and fly it. That's all. So this is how you can begin with the feel of the flying. Now I will show you something more in that. Unfortunately, these things are not available. I shouldn't say unfortunately, because it is really required. People were not disciplined at all. Do you realize what this is? I will show you closely. What this is? It was like this originally. Now can you understand? It was originally like this. I have cut it in this shape. This is nothing but the thermocol plate that was used for serving the food or something once upon a time. Now they are banned, so it is not available. Now this is half the plate. From half the plate, I made the two aircraft. This one and this one. It's a very lightweight material, and I just have to drop it. You will see that it will start flying. I will drop it. You will see it will fly like a feather. Yes, if your vision is developed, if your feels are developed, your understanding is developed, you can make the models just out of anything. Any lightweight thing that is available to you, you can make these models and then be free for that. What will happen if I do like this? What will happen if I do like this? See, some AC draft is coming down, so that is a bit here. You can see. So just to tell you that the learning doesn't really cost much. You must have the ideas in the mind, and this can be done like this. Now later on we come to the sophisticated type of models. Because this is all right, that cylinder flies, but we want something realistic, isn't it? So in 1986, myself and my wife together, we started the institution called as Shastra Vahini. All the teachers have been given a pamphlet about Shastra Vahini, and we were developing the science project material and ideas for making the simple science projects, because the project work later on in 2004 became compulsory. You have to make the two projects. One is the group project, another is the individual project. But that compulsion was not there. Still there used to be a lot of science exhibitions, and everybody was short of making the science project. And more than that, whatever science projects they were available in the market or the material for that used to be very expensive. So that is why our focus was to create something which is very reasonably priced, and in that the aero modeling was one of these. So I created the airplanes which are made out of paper. It is a packet of 5 aircraft and this is how it looks. You have to open it in this manner. You have to open the stabilizers also. So, a flying model aircraft is prepared. Now, this aircraft is the one which has got the control surfaces. Because when the aircraft is flying in the air, we should be able to control it. It is not like the old times of saying that the aircraft has taken off, but now where it will go and how it will land, nobody knows. Everything is left to God. So it should not be like that. If you are taking off, then you should be able to travel in the proper direction, land properly, and all these things are required. They are done with the help of control surfaces. So in the control surfaces, these are the 2 control surfaces given to you. They are very tiny, but with the help of that, it is possible to control. And the third control is a nail which is given in the nose position, which can control it properly. Now I will just check. I would like the ACs to be switched off. The AC draft is coming. This aircraft is to be flown in no wind condition. No wind means there should not be any wind disturbance, and then you will be able to trim the aircraft properly. Otherwise, what happens to the aircraft cannot be judged. So you have to hold it like this. Now this is called as a test flight, which is to be done for any aircraft. Otherwise, usually you hold it like this. Now the wing is already towards the ground. So how do you expect it to go straight then? So you should be holding the aircraft like this, parallel to the ground, launch towards the ground slightly. Yes, AC draft is that. Yeah, there is a draft coming down. तिथे नाही आहे का? Okay. So I will launch it. Now you saw. No, you have seen nothing. This is a only test flight. It was going to the left. Didn't you see? I don't want that. I want the model to go straight perfectly. So what I will do is that this left portion, which is called as the aileron, I will slightly bend down. So the air which is coming from the front will create the pressure here. And as a result of that, in the turning, when the wing was going down, that wing will be slightly lifted. Now, how much to turn it down is a judgment. If you turn it too much down, then it will go in the opposite direction. That is called as the overcorrection. I want the correction to be done, not the overcorrection. And corrections is a matter of experience. So I have just tried that. I will check that all the other things are also in level, and I will try the flying in straight direction. Now did you see that it was completely controlled? The one which is turning to the left can easily be controlled to go in a straight direction. Now I was launching with a very moderate force. Many times I ask the children that if I really launch it like a stone throwing with force, what do you expect to happen? It's a question for you. If I launch it with force now, what do you expect to happen? It will go longer, further, or it will go up? Yes, now you have to remember the relationship. The lifting force depends on the speed of the air. Now when I am launching with more force, that means there will be more air speed. Now if the air speed is more, then the lift will be more. So it will not go over a long distance or further, it will start going up into a loop. Just see for yourself. I will launch it with force and the aircraft has gone into the loop. It completely went in this manner. Now if it is going into a circular fashion, then why do I need to go there and pick it up? Will it not come back to me? Because circle is some path which ends where it begins, isn't it? So it should be able to come back to me. Okay, I will change the launching style. I will hold it this way and I will launch and it will come back to me. You just hold it this way, launch it up and it will come back to me. Okay? You can fly the stunts with a paper airplane. Now, lucky it is having quite a good height. In the house, we don't have this much of the height. So you may not be able to complete the vertical loop. But can I make the horizontal loop also? Yes, by changing the style. This is the way usually we hold. I will hold it this way. Okay. I will just check. Nothing has disturbed. I will hold it this way. And I will launch it like I am drawing a line on the board. Now what you have to remember is that you will hold it properly here. But by the time your hand travels from here to here, you may make it like this, make it like this, make it like this. No. As if this is a runway, it is going on the runway. I will hold it this way and I will launch it. I will get it back in my hand. Paper aircraft. Now good thing that we have got so much of the space. Can I make the circle larger? Understanding the physics, if you take the nail more outside, then it will be away from the center of gravity further. The meaning is that the moment of force, that is a term that you use, the moment of force of this nail will increase and then it will be able to make a larger circle, but I also will have to launch it at a higher speed. That means with more force. Now see, this is a circle I made. More larger circle, the nail is taken even further outside and further more power I will have to launch and then it will come back to me. Got there. So see, you can fly all these patterns and important thing is that you will need a lot of practice to do this. It is not so easy. I am doing it for last 30-35 years I am flying this. So I now just know what exactly is required to be done and I can do it. But it will not happen so easily with you. You will do it. Several times it will go here and crash, go there and crash, go in that direction, may not come to you. You will keep on trying the movement of the ailerons. What will happen if this is moved down, this is moved up? And one fine moment, it will really make a circle and come back to you. And you are not expecting it. You will not be expecting it. So what happens is that when it makes a good circle and comes back to you, you try to grab it like this and it's broken. So remember how to catch it also. When it really comes to you, you have to catch it very lightly and very perfectly. So see. Now see, it is coming at that speed. So you have to feel that speed and according to that, you have to do it. I will make one more flight because in the catching, it got disturbed. So I will just make the slight adjustment of the aileron here so that it really comes back to me in the correct position. Did you see the effect of overcorrection? It was going a little higher, so I tried to control it, it went down. This is how you have to do it. So I am doing it purposely to show you the effect of overcorrection. Now make the correction normal and now it comes back to me. So this is how you can make the flying. So that is why this particular kit we developed for learning, and this kit has been used by many engineering colleges, many Six Sigma training workshops. This contains the 5 aircraft in it of the same design. Why 5? Because 3 are going to break. In learning, you are bound to break 3 aircrafts in that. After that, the fun happened. When we started giving it to the children are either not children, none of us is much used to reading all the instructions given in the instruction manual. We buy the expensive things, but we never read the instruction manual properly. So that is a national habit of India. Don't read the instruction manual properly. So without reading all the instructions given, the people try to fly it, and then the parents come complaining to me, we bought the 5 aircraft and our Monday broke all the 5 aircraft in 5 minutes. If you don't read it properly, what exactly is to be done, the Monday will take even 1 minute to break 5 aircraft. So this is to satisfy the children as well as the parents. This is the unbreakable aircraft. Chiranjeev Vyas. Why Chiranjeev name is given? Because in Bharatiya Sanskriti, there are seven Chiranjeevs. Ashwathama, Balirvyaso, Hanumanasya, Bibhishana, Krupa, Parshuramasya, Saptaite Chiranjeevana. These seven are treated to be immortal, Chiranjeev. And this is really Chiranjeev. In the rains, nothing will happen. If it crashes, nothing will happen. Even if the car passes on that, nothing happens. So this is unbreakable. But thing is that even if it is unbreakable, it can break something else. So you have to be careful when you launch it. If you have got good strength in your hand, then this is a grip with which you can launch it. But you really need the power and the swing, body swing, so you can launch it in this manner. But see, you need a good practice to that. But the simpler way is with a rubber band, catapult, gulel. You can launch it in the controlled manner. This has got all the control surfaces, rudder, elevator, aileron, all the control surfaces are given. So by setting them, I can put it in the rubber band, and this is the way I launch it. Now you will see, I don't dare to launch with more power, because if it really goes accurately, then it will straight away come to you like a missile. So this is the aircraft which you can use. Now it was going to the left. Did you see? How did I launch? I launched it straight. Where did it go? It went to the left. I don't want it to go to left. If I am pointing in this direction, then it should go there only. So how I will control it? Then I will move its rudder to the right so that the correction is done. And at the same time, I will lift its aileron slightly on the right side, aileron below, and now I will check whether this correction is working or not. Again, I will point in that direction. Now, did you see the over correction? It was going to left. Now, whatever corrections I did, it went to right. Again, you do the adjustment, and this will survive all your adjustment until you learn to launch it properly without any fear. Keep on doing all the corrections, and you will start learning. So all these activities is a matter of practice. This develops your feel, because many of you are likely to buy the remote control aircraft directly because your parents have the money and he is ready to give you whatever you ask, but don't go for that. This aircraft, or by breaking such type of the aircraft, it is not going to cost you more than 200, 300 rupees. But if one remote control aircraft breaks, it will cost you few thousand rupees. And learning is same. Science of flight is same for your paper glider, it is same for the plastic glider, it is same for the remote control aircraft, and it is also same for the real aircraft. There is no difference in science. Then what is the difference in that? If the science of all these flying objects is same, then what is different? I want the correct word. No? That word always comes in combination with science. Technology. The technology is different. Here, to do the adjustment, with hand, I am making this up and down. In the real aircraft, is the pilot going to do it with hand? Then there is a different technology to do that. The meaning is that science is same for all the aircraft, right from paper aircraft up to real aircraft, but the technology is different. How you control the remote control is different. How you control the real aircraft is different. So I will show you what exactly they control. This is the model, not flying of course. This is made out of the pieces fallen when the furniture was made at home. They were just lying, I just cut them with the tools and made the model, because this is a demonstration model. Can you see the color surfaces on this? These color surfaces are meant for the control of the aircraft. Now first let us see what really the controls are required for the aircraft. Imagine that the aircraft is flying in the air. How many movements it will do? One thing is that it is likely to go down like this, it is likely to go up like this. So one movement of the aircraft is going up and down. This is called as a pitching movement. In English it is called as a pitch down or pitch up. Then this aircraft is likely to turn to the left or it is likely to turn to the right. That means going to the left and going to the right. is the second control that the aircraft needs. This turning is called as yawing, Y-A-W. It is called as a yawing moment, yaw to the left, yaw to the right, and you have the experience that whenever you take a left turn, you have to bend in that direction also. Does everybody know how to drive a bicycle? Yes. I will tell you an experiment to do, which you should do at your own risk. Go to the ground, drive the bicycle straight with maximum power, and just turn the handle to the left. And what will happen then? Because when you have to take the left turn, you cannot sit erect. You have to bend into the left side, then only you can take the left turn. So you have seen the cycle tracks in the racing? The cyclist cannot bend so much down, so the track itself is bent. And that is why the tracks are bent. In the ghat section, why the tracks are bent? The roads are not flat. The roads are always curving or tilting downward, because even that four-wheeler has to bend down when it is taking the left turn. And the four-wheeler cannot do that. So that is why the road itself has to be turned like that. If it doesn't happen, then it will go into the valley. So that is why this is required to be done. So aircraft also, when it goes to the left, doesn't go like this. It will put the left wing down and then it will go to the left. To go to the right, it will put the right wing down and then it will go to the right. And this is called as a third movement, which is called as a rolling. So see, the aircraft in the air has to control three: pitching, up and down, yawing, left and right, and rolling in this manner. And for each of these, there is a surface. For the pitching, this is the surface, up and down. This is called elevator. When the elevator goes up, the aircraft goes up. When the elevator goes down, the aircraft goes down. So this control surface controls the up and down movement of the aircraft. This blue one is the rudder. It is moved to the left or it is moved to the right. So it will help the aircraft turn to the left or to the right. And for the rolling, this is a combination of the two surfaces called as the ailerons, and they work equal and opposite always. So when one aileron goes up, the another goes down. The linkage is such that automatically one aileron goes up and the another goes down. And this is the way, with the help of the ailerons, it will be able to roll in this manner. That is why the pilot's job is difficult, because he has to control all the things. In the car, you don't have to do all this. In the car, what control you have in your hand? Only the steering wheel. All the other controls are related to the speed. The gears are for increasing or decreasing the speed. Accelerator is for increasing the speed. Brake is for reducing the speed. So all the remaining things are related to the speed. The control is only one, that is steering. And that is why you have to control only one thing in the car, but here you have to control all the three things at a time. And that is why the pilot job is difficult. Now, this is done in this manner. How is it done in the remote control aircraft? Connect करून दे. ठेव खाली. नंबर हातामध्ये शेपटी जर त्यांच्याकडे. Disturbance. Now see, this is a 3-channel remote control aircraft in which the elevator and the rudder is being controlled with the remote control. So you can see that the elevator moves up and down, and I have the stick in my hand. So when it is flying, I can decide how it will go up and down. And the rudder is moved to the left or right. So these two things are controlled. So when the aircraft is flying, I can control it like a pilot. And the third control is the power. So I can give the power to it. Of course, this can't fly here, but I can just roll it. So this is the way the remote control aircraft flies. So remote control flying is basically the same what we have been doing with the paper aircraft with the hands, plastic aircraft with the hand. Here I am doing it with the help of a remote control. And what do they do in the real aircraft? It is computerized. They call it as fly-by-wire. So all these tasks the pilot is supposed to do are automatically computerized, and the pilot has to go into that mode. The pilot goes into the landing mode and all the functions will happen automatically. Switch off करते. I will show you that. Clip दाखव. How do aircraft? नाही हे बंद केलं. I will show you how do they do in the real aircraft also. How do aircraft fly? How do
airplanes start take off? He's no.
Now just see how the aircraft takes off. This is of the real aircraft. Now see, this is the elevator that operates, and the link is connected into the hands of the pilot, joystick. So this is on the left side, old time joystick was there. This is the modern joystick, just like you play for the games. See the movement. He pushes it forward and it goes down. He pulls it, pilot pulls it towards him and the elevator goes up. So this is controlled with the help of joystick. This is the same. Pull it, push it, and it goes down. Now this is a throttle. That throttle is given the full speed while taking off. The two engines are there, so two throttles are there. Now this is the maximum RPM. The aircraft starts getting the flying speed, and when that flying speed is indicated, the pilot knows. Now watch the elevator. What happens there? See, they have lifted up, and the moment it is lifted up, the aircraft goes into the flight. This is the view usually we never get to see. So it has been very clearly indicating how it happens that the main landing gear is touching, angle changes, and then the aircraft goes up into the air. Then the wheels also go in immediately after it attains 200 feet of height. Now the landing is more difficult because in the landing you are coming down onto the ground. And are you aware of the weight of the jumbo jet? It is about 350 tons. The 350 tons of the weight is touching down the ground. Imagine how much of the impact it will be having. So it has to be very lightly touching down, and all these things have to be done very carefully. So see, those on the wing are called as the air brakes to reduce the speed. The flaps are opened and the wheel brakes are applied finally when the speed reduces. that the flaps open, that is called as the air brakes. So it reduces the speed of going through the air by creating drag. So these are the air brakes which are open. Then the power of the jet engine is usually backward, but it is made forward. The engine opens like this and the jet goes into the front direction. So that reduces the speed further. Just see, this is how the engine opens and the air is thrusted in the forward direction. Now see, all the things happen automatically with the help of computer. The moment the wheels touch down, everything further happens automatically. The air brakes are open. The nose wheel touches, and as soon as the nose wheel touches, the engine opens and the reverse thrust is generated. The speed reduces further, and now the wheel brakes are applied by the pilot to taxi it to the apron. So this is how the real aircraft work. So what we have learned is just identical. Here you are doing it with your hand or with the remote control set. There everything happens automatically with the help of computers or with the help of the pilot, and that is how the learning is done. Now as a children, what you can do in all this is that you cannot directly go to the real life flying. For that, there are different ways. Best thing is to get into NDA, if possible, or join as the Short Service Commission in Air Force. If you are doing the Air Wing NCC, then it will be additional help, because the Air Wing NCC also has got the flying aircraft nowadays. So there also you can get the experience. Another way is that in Pune we have got in Hadapsar the Civil Gliding Center, and it is meant for the civilians. You can go there, book the flight in glider. Only for 183 rupees they give you one flight. So you can go there and you will really get the feel that how it looks when you are up in the air. So that is in Hadapsar Gliding Center, and of course there is a waiting list. If you book it today, then not likely that you will get it immediately, but as your claim comes, you will be able to take the flight there also. In the meanwhile, you can start the flying clubs in the school and start making the inexpensive models like from paper. Then further we have been conducting the competitions of this type of the models. You understand what this is? A rubber powered aircraft model. And in the rubber powered aircraft model, the importance is of that special rubber, because this is not the ordinary rubber. You have to wind the propeller, and that propeller gives you the power. Now this looks to be very simple. I will keep on talking while I am winding the propeller, because it's a small loop I am using for the demonstration purpose. But actually we make the very large loops. This competition is called internationally as the F1D class competition of rubber powered models, and you need a tremendous experience to enter into this competition. The purpose of the competition is that you should be able to make an aircraft less than 3 grams of the weight. The weight of the aircraft should be less than 3 grams, and with one single rubber band, you should be able to fly for at least 20 minutes. How much? 20 minutes. And the world record is 61 minutes of non-stop flight. The rubber powered aircraft working with a single rubber band, rubber loop, for 61 minutes of the non-stop flight. I will demonstrate this to you, and then I will put up the clip how that international competitions are organized, so that you will come to know what type of the aircraft they make, how much skill is required to make a large aircraft under 3 grams of the weight. and very sophisticated materials are used. Here, I have given the sufficient turns. Now, when I release this, you will see that it will start flying. Had I released it here, it would have come back to me. Yeah. So this is a way, this is only, it is a trial flight. But later on you can go on winding it. Yes. You will see that we always keep the wing dismantleable. The meaning is that when the hit comes, the wing comes off. It is not broken. It is just press fit. And for the next flight, I just have to press fit it and the aircraft will be ready. Falling the pieces apart is a safety. If it were permanently pasted, then something would have broken. But since it is coming off, nothing is broken. You can keep on flying these models, and there are the competitions held. Very recently, with the help of Aeronautical Society of India, we conducted this competition for the engineering college students, and 150 teams participated in this. We also conducted the competition for E20. This is the another type of competition which is coming up. Yes. The aircraft is something of this size and it should weigh minimum 1 ounce. 1 ounce is, that is 28 grams. So the special timer is also prepared by us and we are exporting these timers now, because in comparison to all the American and British timers which burn after maybe about 10 flights, this timer has proven not burning for at least 100 flights. So this is developed here in Pune by my son Siddhartha, and we are exporting it now. So this competition also we had organized in this place. I will just connect it to the timer. Now this timer is programmable. You can program the timing, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 18 seconds, 20 seconds, and after that, this single motor, now I programmed it for 2 seconds only for the purpose of demonstration. The timer has got a switch, you switch it on and the motor starts, and after the certain time it stops. Then after that the aircraft keeps on gliding, and the one who has designed the aircraft really perfectly will glide for the maximum amount of time. Otherwise, when the power is there, it is definitely going to go up. But after the motor stops, it should be able to glide for the maximum amount of time, and that is the competition. The one who flies for the maximum time is the winner. And this was the type of competition for the rubber pod models as well as for the E20. This is the E20 type model. I will show you the video of this West Baden, which is the rubber pod model competition. Just see the type of aircraft they are flying. Under 3 grams.
This is not just any flying competition.
And this is not
the
slowed down.
World Championship.
This is the motion of the
meticulously
propeller.
handcrafted rubber band-powered planes. Built of balsa wood with microfiber wings, these are the ultimate ultralight aircraft. 1.4 grams. That's about the weight of a dollar bill.
It's the minimum aeroplane you could have. It's kind of the basic DNA of flight, you know? There's almost nothing there, and it manages to fly.
Tim Hayward Brown of Australia is among 14
This is
teams
the way they are
that came
winding
from around the
more
world
than
for this
2,000,
competition.
3,000 tons on the
The
rubber.
planes are built to nearly identical specs and are powered by a single rubber band. And not just any rubber band, says former world champ Steve Brown.
The rubber that we use has to have a certain power delivery character. And you can liken it to vintages in wine. The best rubber has not been made in almost 20 years. So the very best batch of it was made in May of 1999. And so most of the people in here are flying that still. We used to say, we'll cut a piece of rubber a 16th of an inch wide. They don't do that anymore. Now you're saying, I'm cutting a piece of rubber that weighs 0.0325 grams per inch. That's how precise this has gotten.
It's all about endurance. Who can keep their plane in the air the longest in a single flight? Now, that could be somewhere around half an hour with the new rules in place. The previous World Championship was decided 400 feet underground in a salt mine in Romania, a fact not lost on our friend Tim.
This hole, I couldn't believe it when I got here. Like, it's a long flight. It's from Australia. It's like 25 to 30 hours in a plane, airports and things. But when I walked in here, it felt like it was all worth it, you know? I think, absolutely beautiful place to be.
Why a salt mine and then here, you might ask? Well, these planes need two things to fly: space and height. They also need very quiet air, that is, a lack of currents. That's why we turn off the heat and the air conditioning when they're in here flying. Another question you might ask: why the balloons and long sticks? They help the flyers steer their planes out of trouble, like mid-air collisions, hitting the wall, or landing on a ledge. When you put 30 hours into building one of these delicate planes, you want to keep it airworthy. The World Championship will be decided in the final round on Thursday. It is open to the public. You are welcome to attend.
Shut up. So you can see that in aero modeling, there is a vast scope in different areas, and we have started with the help of Aeronautical Society of India. For the last 2 years, we are conducting these competitions for the engineering college students. But from the next year, we are likely to conduct these for the schools also, for standard 8th and above. And then there will be the workshops that will be conducted in the school, and after that, the competitions will be held. First, not in such big venues, but later on, when you also get the experience of flying, the feel of flying, how the trimming is done. If I have to fly the aircraft in this area, then how shall I adjust the complete parameters of the flight? Once you start learning it, we are hoping to conduct the world competition demonstration in Pune with the help of MIT EDU University there in Loni, because they have got the big dome, which is the largest pillarless dome in the world. That much of the big space is not available anywhere in the world. Fortunately, in Pune, we have a rapport with them, and they are also generously allowed us to conduct the competitions there. We are likely to conduct some international competitions also in that venue. So at least all of you who are in front of me today have felt, have seen and experienced what type of the field this is, and how much things are there to learn, and everything is enjoyment. Isn't it? Is the flying enjoyable or not? It is. You will enjoy it at the same time. You will learn many things which you otherwise learn only in the books as the theorems, as the laws, but you will see all those theorems and laws practically working here if you develop that side. And that is why it is quite important. That is what we call as learning by doing. Learning by doing is important, or learning by words is important. Lastly, I will give a story from my college. When I studied in Ferguson College, we had a wonderful professor, Badhumalti Apte, and she was the renowned, world-renowned calculus and integration professor. Even the other college students used to come into our class and sit there. Now, once she just asked a question to all of us that, are you understanding what I am telling you? Now, the three answers came. Some students said that, no, madam, everything was flying above the head. Some students said that, madam, we got it, but why do you repeat it again and again? And some students said, no, madam, you taught it perfectly. Now, what do you understand? Did she teach differently to everybody? She was conducting the lecture here. She told the same thing. So those who thought that it was flying above their heads means that they needed some more explanation. They need more repetitions. That means they were a bit slow learner, but if that much time is allowed, then they will definitely learn. That was the meaning. Those who were saying that, madam, why do you repeat? Maybe perhaps quick grasping. So that is why they understood it quickly. When the madam repeated it for the second time, they started feeling it bored. And the students who said that, yes, madam, you have been teaching us perfectly. The meaning is that the way of teaching of the madam and the way of learning was matching. And that is why they thought that the madam is good. Always remember, we judge our teachers with our standards. So if you understand some teacher perfectly, that means her teaching and your understanding is matching at some level. But does it mean that everybody will feel the same? No. So that is why never say ever that this teacher doesn't know. When I go to schools, I find children like you saying that that teacher knows nothing. She can't teach it properly. How do you know that? She is doing her job perfectly. If you are not understanding, then that is your problem. Learning is important, not the teaching. If the person is not interested in learning, even the Brahma will not be able to teach him. Or Saraswati also will not be able to teach him. But if you are interested in learning, then you don't need the teacher. Like Ekalavya, you can learn everything on your own. So learning is more important and not the teaching. So if at all you think of blaming your teacher for anything, don't blame. It is a big crime. The teacher is doing their job perfectly. You are not understanding it, that is your problem. So you see how you will solve your problem. Don't keep on pointing the fingers to the others. And that's what I always tell the students, that if you want to learn, then you will learn. And if you don't want to learn, then nobody can teach you. So when we form Shastra Vahini, every institute has got some punchline. Our punchline, do you know what it is? That we teach you nothing, but you learn from us. I am going to show you everything. Whether to learn or not is your job. It's not my job. So you should learn, you should try to make use of me at the most, and you will learn. So thank you very much for paying attention. Dhanyavad.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate this amazing lecture filled with demonstrations by Shri Madhav Khare ji, who is here. We also need to thank the people who assisted him here. So on stage we have had Dr. Siddharth Khare. Can you please come here on stage so we can...
Yes.
Thank you so much. So Dr. Siddharth Khare, who, as you know, is related to Madhav ji. And we also have another Siddharth Shivalkar.
Siddharth.
Is welcome.
Yeah, na?
Siddharth was also helping out, and Atharva Puranik was here. So a lovely team effort, and we got to know so much. Even I learned so much and was so excited to see all these things.
Samir, AES I think Dr. Gite also.
So I also have to, in this, as I said, we are all excited by this. But you might have realized that you also got some, takeaways with you. Thanks to the Aeronautical Society of India, which we also would like to thank here. So Dr. Gite, is
he there?
He has had to leave, I think. But
he had to go.
Yes, yeah. So Shri Anand Raj is also here. Is he? Anyway, so
Call him.
let's, from our heart, we thank the Aeronautical Society of India and also Shastra Vahini for taking the efforts and bringing this demonstration to you. So the giveaways are there for you. I think you can read the instructions.
Yes.
First, and then try to make your own gliders with them. We'll be having the team again here on the 28th of February, so please do come back if you have further questions, and you'll be able to meet them and actually see some things flying in the open as well. Here it may not have been so exciting, but I assure you that it will be further better on the National Science Day.
Yes, the models that have been given to you, everybody of you will get a paper model. When you prepare it finally, it is going to become like this. This small model you will get, 2 paper clips you will need to put in the nose, and it is a perfectly flyable model. You will see that it will fly beautifully, and you will be able to control the flight the way I had demonstrated. This thing, bright hota hai ghupte. So this is the way it will be there. The tutorial video is being uploaded on the Aerials Aero Club as well as Aeronautical Society of India. On both the websites you will find the tutorial video for that. The website is given there on the top line. The website is given. You can visit the website of Aeronautical Society, find out the video, and you can do these models. And if you become successful, do call us. And many of them were inquiring here and there, how can we get all these things? But these things will be available to you. A pamphlet has been given to your teacher on which there are the phone numbers. So you can contact us, and then we can make the arrangement of the workshops or the lectures in your schools also, if the time and schedule permits. Okay. Yeah, that QR code is for the video. If you can take a photograph of that, then that video will give you all the details how this model is required to be done. Thank you. Samir, we will conclude.
Thank you again. Sorry if you could not hear me earlier, but that does not reduce, the volume does not reduce the amount of thanks that we want to pass on to the team. So with a big round of applause, we would like to close this session. The team is around, so you can talk with them. Since this session has gone on for too long, we'll not be taking question answers now. But as you also know, that you're always welcome to contact the team, SciPop IUCAA team. And if you have any questions, you can pass it on to us, and we can also get them answered from the speakers. So with this, let us, wish the team a very great success in taking this science of flight to many more students and many more schools. Teachers are welcome to please get in touch with the team and organize any events that you want in your school. Thank you so much. There are snacks waiting for you outside, so we hope you enjoy that, and we'll see you. February kind of finishes our second Saturday lecture series for this academic session, but there will be many more, of course, events coming up, and we look forward to also seeing the students and teachers for the competitions, which will be on the 22nd of February. If the teachers have not got the response sheet or have not sent it, please make sure you do, and participate in the science competitions, which will be on the 22nd. There are, of course, prizes for this, but the biggest prize is that the topper teams, they get to work with IUCAA scientists in the summer program that we have. So please remember that this is a very interesting program. The first step to that is participating in the science competitions which will be on the 22nd of February. So please make sure your team participates in it. Thank you so much, and see you.